Good morning, everybody. It's Bob from Mountain Crest Farms. I'll keep telling y'all that. I don't know why. You know what channel you came to. Before I get started this morning, a little bit of YouTube house cleaning. I've had a couple of my subscribers say that they weren't getting notifications about when I did a video. YouTube made a channel change a couple of months ago, or a change in settings a couple of months ago, and how the notifications work. Used to be you could hit the subscribe button on a channel, and then if that little bell appeared, you hit the bell and you got notified when somebody that you were subscribed to did a video. Well, there's two things you have to look at now, not just one. That used to be all you had to look at, but now they have changed it a little bit. In your personal YouTube settings, YouTube-wide settings, not just for an individual channel, there is a setting in there where you can choose to get notifications or not get notifications. And if you choose in there, and I believe the default is not, YouTube doesn't want you to be bugged unless you want to be bugged. But if you will go to your settings in your YouTube account, YouTube account is just because you commented and interacted with a video. You don't have to be a creator making videos. But if you'll go to your settings and make sure that notifications are turned on, and then subscribe, hit the bell on channels that you like, you'll get notifications. But if you subscribe and hit the bell, or if you have in the past, and now you're not getting notifications, it's because when they made that change, your personal settings, YouTube-wide, are set to no notifications. So you can choose to be notified of new videos on a given channel and a channel's video, but still have notifications turned off in your account. You aren't going to get any notifications. So if you stop getting notifications, that's why. So that's house cleaning on YouTube. House cleaning personally, or personal cleaning personally. My wife told me that y'all are going to think I never take a bath or change clothes. I said, do what? What are you talking about? She said, well, your last 2 or 3 videos you've been wearing overalls and a black t-shirt, and here I am today wearing what? Let me check. Overalls and a black t-shirt. Well, I do take a bath, a shower, and I do change clothes. It's not like I stink or anything, I don't think. Hang on. Nope, I don't stink. It's not like I don't take a bath or change clothes, it's just that I've pretty much got a uniform, if you will, that I wear. It consists of, well, actually 2 uniforms. I wear either overalls like you see now, or I wear cargo pants, long cargo pants. I hate shorts with a passion. But I wear overalls or cargo pants. I wear overalls because of these things. They hold my pants up. And I wear cargo pants, you've seen in some of my videos, I always have on a pair of suspenders. For the same reason that I like these, it holds some pants up. You gotta understand, I might be 6'1" and weigh 270 pounds, and I've got a little bit of a belly on me, but God did not give me any butt. I have nothing to hold my britches up. I can tighten a belt up just as tight as it'll go and walk 20 steps, and if I'm not grabbing at my britches and hiking them up, they're down around my ankles. So it's either suspenders or overalls. I like doing it both. And then for a shirt, it's almost always a t-shirt of some sort. Today it's black. Last video y'all watched, it was black. Video before that, it was black. Sometimes it's gray. I have a couple of other colors. I think you've seen me in a yellow t-shirt, and you've probably seen me in a blue t-shirt, I think. But for the most part, it's either black or gray t-shirts. So just because you see me wearing the same thing a few days in a row or a few videos in a row doesn't mean I didn't shower in between. It just means that I pulled out another uniform. So that covers that. Yes, I do bathe. Yes, I do take a shower and change clothes. I just look the same all the time. So once we're past that, what do I want to talk about today? Well, I want to talk about the weather. I didn't know I wanted to talk about the weather until about 5 seconds ago. I want to talk about the weather. Here we are on June 1st. New month. We're still in spring, people. We're still in spring. It's early enough in the morning. You're hearing the roosters crow. You're hearing morning sounds. I'm still on coffee, not switchel. Danged if it ain't hot. I mean, I'm not sweating right now, but then all I'm doing is standing here talking to a telephone. That's the camera I use for these little coffee chats, is the camera on my phone. It's got a pretty good camera on it. But here I am talking to a telephone. Not talking to somebody else in a telephone, like a telephone call. I'm talking to a telephone, for God's sake. So I'm not sweating. But it's going to hit 90, 92, 93 degrees today. It is still spring. Summer hasn't started yet. If it's this hot now, what in the Lord's name is it going to be come July, August, September? I don't do heat well. I can deal with it if I want to, but I don't want to. There's nothing really in California that would make me move there. There's not enough money printed. But I sure wish they'd send San Diego's climate to here. San Diego with a 72 degree average temperature year round. Oh man, that would be nice. Because as I get older, what I can deal with, I can tolerate whatever I need to. Hot, cold, I can tolerate it all. But what I want to deal with changes. I've never liked the heat. I think when I was younger, I didn't like the heat because I wore glasses. And I sweat. I would use the phrase, I sweat like a pig. But since I started raising pigs a few years back, I found out that pigs don't sweat. So sweating like a pig would mean I really don't sweat, and I do. I pour sweat, like my dad was. He used to walk around all summer long with a hand towel slung over his shoulder so that no matter what he was doing, he could just stop, mop his brow. Handkerchief wasn't big enough. But it just pours off of me. And when I was young and wearing glasses, and I have only started wearing a cap probably the last 3 or 4 years, sweat would run down my forehead, get on my glasses, run down my glasses, make my glasses slide off my nose. I couldn't see out because of the sweat on my glasses. That was one reason I really hated the heat. But I just don't tolerate the heat well, especially heat here in Georgia with the high humidity. Of course, that humidity thing is, you can only go so far with that. I've got friends out in Arizona that say, well, it's not too bad out here because it's a dry heat. Let me tell you something. 110 degrees is 110 degrees. I don't much care what the humidity is. 110 degrees is hot. When I can fry an egg on the hood of my truck, it's hot. I don't care if you got zero humidity. But anyway, I just never have done heat well. And but I can tolerate it if I have to. As I find as I get older, and my mother was this way, I find as I get older I tolerate the cold a lot less well. The way you see me dressed right now, first day of June, and it's going to be 93 degrees. When I was in my 20s, 30s, even 40s, you're liable to see me like this on a day when it was 30, 35 degrees outside. Not if it was raining, not if the wind was blowing, but on just a cold day, I'd be outside in short sleeves. Not anymore. No, not anymore. I don't know if it's age. I don't know if it's some of the medicines that I'm on. You know, I'm on a couple of blood thinners. I don't know what it is, but I get cold a lot easier than I used to. And when you get older, I'll tell you right now, I do all I can to keep especially my feet warm in the winter. Because when winter rolls around and it starts getting cold, once my feet get cold, it's spring before they're warm again. So I work real hard to keep my feet warm. I don't know what it is about it when we get older, or what we want in the way, or what we can deal with temperature-wise changes. My mother I'd be, when I was in my 40s, I'd just be getting comfortable when she'd be pulling on a jacket. But I used to laugh at her a little bit and say, "Mom, it's not cold in here. It's like 70 degrees. You'll be old one day." Well, I'm not old. 64 is not old. I used to think 64 was old. I used to think 60 was old. That was the magic age. I think all of us have a magic age in our head, and it changes as we get older. But magic age, I just ran them around today. Magic age, I know when I was 20, 25, well, let's back up even more. When I was about 10 years old, I had a teacher that was 25, and I thought she was old. And then I got in high school. Well, my junior year of high school, I had a teacher. Had an English teacher who was fresh out of college. I didn't think she was old. I thought she was hot. But, you know, she's 22 years old. And this is back in the hippie days, 1971, somewhere along in there, 71, 72. And everybody's running around in bell-bottom blue jeans and tie-dye t-shirts, and a lot of women running around without bras. I just thought, I'm not going to call her name. I'll call her first name. I just thought Joe was hot. I mean, she wasn't old, but you get much past that 22 like she was, you get up in your 35, 40 year, you're beginning to put some age on. And when I got in my 35s and 40s, all of a sudden, old became 60. I got news for you. I'm 64 years old now, and 60's not old anymore. 64 is not old anymore. I'm looking down the road to 70 and thinking that doesn't really look very old. So I guess we all have a magic age of what is old, and I think all of our magic ages changes. Our perspective on a lot of things change. Politically, and I'm not going to talk politics, this is just going to be a political observation some people have made that I happen to agree with. And it's about changing perspectives. If you're under 30 and you're not a liberal, then you have no heart. And if you're over 30 and you're not a conservative, then you have no brain. Now, that's going to offend some folks under 30, and it's really going to make some folks over 30 angry. And I guess it is what it is. But it's funny how our perspective on things change. Don't have anything planned about this. I'm just stream of consciousness on the perspective thing today. But it's funny how our perspective changes. Something that we think is okay when we're young is not okay when we're older. Something we think that's fun when we're young isn't as fun when we're older. It's age, and I really do think it's wisdom that hits us, like, well, just like fun versus not fun when you get older. When I was young, I used to think it was fun to go. I had a really hot car when I was a kid. This is back in the days when Detroit iron was fast iron. It was nothing back in South Georgia, where I'm from, for kids 16, 17 years old to have some cars that they had done a little bit of tweaking on, be pushing 600 horsepower, street legal. And I used to think, oh God, it was so fun. Fast. That's all I wanted to do in a car, was go fast. I was one of those to be driving down a 2-lane highway and come up behind some old farmer in his farm truck going down the highway at 45 miles an hour, and there's just enough curves in the road to make it dangerous to pass. And I'd be sitting back there beating on my steering wheel, just wishing he would turn in, find his driveway, get home, whatever, just get out of my way. Well, guess what? Now I'm that old redneck in a pickup truck doing 45 miles an hour down the road. I will drive 60, as long as the speed limit's 70. But perspectives change on things. I hadn't really said much today, but there you have what I've got to offer. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you come back and see me, and down there at the bottom, right about there, is a subscribe. Well, first there's a thumbs up button. Give me a thumbs up. Or if you think this video is just terrible, give me a thumbs down. And down there around that thumbs up button is a subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe. Then hit that little bell, make it ring, so that you'll get notifications. And remember to go to your YouTube settings and accept notifications. And come back and see me. Sometimes I actually have something to say instead of just rambling like this morning. But one thing I always say, and I'm not rambling when I say it, 2 things to always remember. Number 1, the tomb was empty. And number 2, yes, he is alive. So y'all come back and see me, and I hope you have a fantastic June 1st. Bye.